Hi there, and thank you for clicking on my video. Going to be talking about Saryn and the Archon mod that she's capable of equipping. Uh, she only has access to one, and just because it's the continuity mod, this might just be a really simple small buff that you can just go ahead and slot in, but the utility of it isn't very high. But you can trigger it. Just to clarify, because I know there's a lot. It's what I thought. Regenerative molt, for whatever reason, does not count. I'm guessing it's because of the coding on it, where this mod doesn't count as an ability, but this will just, in turn, when you cast molt, give Saryn a health regen of 65 with the strength of 65 health per second. So I guess the game, as of right now, obviously these mods haven't been officially released, so maybe it's a bug. But as of right now, this doesn't trigger. And just to prove that, let's kill some stuff. Okay, so we lost some health. We have the augment. I'm gonna press 2. I'm regenning. No buff. So as of right now, it does not work. And just to show the continuity mod works. On the same ability, so this one doesn't work, so just for now we'll take it off. This gives you a little buff in the corner. It does show up on the top right. That looks kind of like... what is it? Growing power. It looks similar to it, but it doesn't trigger. But the way she's going to trigger continuity is the molt clone deals toxin status when it's triggered, and then it deals a dot. So your mileage may vary, but this is how she's going to trigger it. You get close to something. Easy enough. A nice subtle buff. I mean, obviously, if you're tight on capacity, or you don't want a forma, or you just don't want to mess with this, or you like your build, this is such a small buff. And the fact that her spores deal corrosive anyway. If you're running continuity and you have the capacity, there's really no reason not to use this if you're using it. But this is highly optional. But that's how she would go about triggering it. The other ones deal, the Archon Intensity is the one that deals on the heal. It doesn't trigger on the Molt Augment. The other augment, this one, Contagion Clouds, deals toxin damage. It does not deal the status. So it won't trigger Archon Continuity because it requires the toxin status, not damage. So, tough break for Saryn, but this is her ability. The Molt AoE on the clone will trigger it. Obviously, it's going to help the Molt damage, especially if you're moving quickly through a level. It could potentially nuke, especially like Corpus or something. It could potentially nuke something nearby, but the radius isn't very big, and most of the time you're using this for shield gating anyway, right? So, but food for thought, this is how it triggers, this is her mod. The other ones deal with electricity, cold, and heat, which she doesn't have on the build. Oh, hold on, let me get something weak so I just don't... Okay. Because the Toxic Lash buff counts as weapon damage. Whoops. Okay. Impact puncture / toxin. If the mod applied for toxin to corrosive, we would be seeing toxin proc or corrosive procs every time we shot something. But it counts as a % max scaled damage on the weapon itself. It doesn't count as an ability. An ability is used to trigger the buff, but I guess the game thinks that it's not an ability in terms of priming this mod. So it doesn't work. So I don't think you can get like easy corrosive stacks. Not that you're worried about getting that with Saryn, but just in terms of using this, it doesn't trigger off a Toxin Lash. But the AoE Toxin proc on her 2 is how she procs her 1 Archon mod that she can use. Anyway, I hope that helps. I know it's not really a great buff, but it is something. I mean, you're not going to say no to it if you got the capacity and you're using continuity. Just slot it on. But anyway, have a blessed day, guys. Take it easy.